Infinite Void. When you cast your domain in Gojo's ult, you summon a domain that causes information to flood into the minds of everyone caught inside it, completely freezing them. If you're performing an action when you were caught in Infinite Void, you keep doing that action until you cancel it. 0.2 Domain. When you activate your ultimate and press R during the windup, you will cast your domain for 0.2 seconds, extending the range of your domain's sure hit effects by 2 times, at the cost of the effect only lasting for 7 seconds. When the domain is cast, the user does a windup for a deadly rush that does 220 damage in total if all the hits connect. When the run finishes, you return back to your base moveset with all of your moves on cooldown. Malevolent Shrine. When you cast Sukuna's domain, a shrine spawns behind you while a bunch of slashes start appearing everywhere in the domain. Each slash does 2 damage, but if you block it, it reduces to 0.5 damage. Even if your health reaches 0%, you will not die as long as you keep blocking. The domain lasts for 18 seconds. Idle Death Gamble. When you cast your domain as Sakari, you and anyone inside is transported to a neutral stage, and in order to progress and activate a Riichi scenario, you must activate a visual move, which can be Reserve Balls, Shutter Doors, a successful Fever Breaker, or your counter. You are able to access 2 potential Riichi scenarios, the Transit Card or Travel Emergency Riichis. For Transit Card, Z is rushing towards the train checkpoint. If he passes, you get jackpot. If not, you start over. For Travel Emergency, Z is rushing to the bathroom. If he makes it, jackpot. If not, start over. The user only has 4 tries before their domain breaks automatically. However, if at least one player is in, they are granted a pity jackpot that grants half the usual awakening if at least one player is caught in the domain. There are also special bonuses you can obtain to increase jackpot chances. If you get an odd-numbered roll like 777, you will get increased jackpot chances for your next roll. If you get an even-numbered roll, your Riichi scenarios will be twice as fast. Chimera Shadow Garden. This move isn't really a domain expansion, but instead a move that occurs when you use Shadow Swarm next to a domain, which creates a hole in the domain and disables its sure hit effect, allowing players to enter and exit the domain. The user, however, will remain in place as their health slowly depletes until they cancel the move or they die. Embodiment of Self-Perfection. When you cast your domain as Mahito, you spawn a bunch of hands. Every player inside has a special bar next to them that depletes faster the closer they are to you. When it goes to 0, the player dies. You can also speed up the depletion by dealing damage. The domain lasts for 14 seconds.
Deadly Sentencing.
When you activate your domain as Higuruma, you summon a platform with 2 podiums, with any player trapped being moved to the podium opposite of yours and made invincible. 3 options to choose from for everyone will appear: Confess, Silence, or Denial. The goal is to choose the same option as the other player, or if there's more than one caught, the majority of players. If you and the players trapped both choose either Denial or Silence, 1 out of 3 slots are filled. If Confess is chosen, all 3 are filled and you get the Executioner's Sword instantly. Every time you guess wrong, 2 guillotines fall. If you guess wrong 6 times, the domain breaks. You can close the domain at any time by pressing G again, and the abilities you get depend on how many slots are filled. If you fill 0 slots, you get 60% of your awakening back. If you fill 1 slot and close it, you confiscate 2 moves or any held items from everyone inside for 90 seconds, and you gain 40% of your awakening back. If 2 slots are filled and the domain is closed, you gain awakening, which is 30 seconds longer than normal, but no confiscation. If all 3 are filled, you both confiscate 1 move and gain your Executioner's Sword. Authentic Mutual Love. When you cast your domain as Yuta, a bunch of swords fall onto a pinkish platform. When you grab one of these swords, you run a certain distance before unleashing the copied curse technique in a sword. These are the following copied techniques: Shrine, Thin Icebreaker, Clairvoyance, Cursed Speech, and Shikigami. If you manage to land 4 katanas on a player caught inside your domain, you can activate Jacob's Ladder on any target of your choice, which slowly lifts the target up, draining both their health and their awakening and causing the domain to shatter immediately. If no players are caught, the domain also shatters. Time Cell Moon Palace. When you cast your domain as Naoya, you summon a big platform with a big eye at the end of it. Every player inside is forced to abide by the 24 frames a second rule, but since they don't have the technique, they get cut at the cellular level. The domain lasts for 15 seconds. Shining Sea of Growing Branches. When you cast your domain as Hanami, a dense field of flowers appears, causing all players to be struck with Hanami's R special effect, meaning if they attack, they get stunned. The domain caster also gets a massive boost to their R special, causing their flower laser to become a one-shot. Incomplete Shrine. When Hei and Sukuna casts their domain, they choose not to use a wall, causing the domain's range to be extended infinitely, with each slash dealing 3 damage, reduced to 0.5 when blocked.